Welcome to the program. This month, a former administrator died by suicide.
It's difficult because for a lot of us, particularly if we are in predominantly white institutions, it's hard because you'll find that you are the only one.
You got to be prepared for what you're going to face along the way and understand.
That's how bullying is able to perpetuate itself, and because nobody is stepping up to stop it.
Women will often feel like their research is less likely to be funded. They're scored lower on faculty evaluations. Trust the institution cannot love you. And I just wonder about what that feels like to give in that way.
Entering the ivory tower.
If anyone asks me, I tell them I have the greatest job in the whole wide world. You know why? Confucius once said, find a job that you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. I found that job. Difficult, challenging, time-consuming,
a labor of
a
love.
labor of love. If anyone asks me, how did I get here? I tell them the story of my journey. You see, my journey is most likely not unique. However, it is not the journey most people seek. When I joined my faculty, I knew that I was an anomaly. When I interviewed, by then, future colleagues told me the program really needs me because I am Black.
And I would add a great deal of credibility to the program, especially in the eyes of the largest school district in our county.
As I set foot on campus, I was greeted with a positive welcome and opportunities galore to be involved both on campus and in the community.
When I first started my academic journey, I felt supported by my departmental colleagues. That support diminished when I gave birth to my son. Entitled to 12 weeks of maternity leave, whispers of faculty returning days after giving birth, bringing their newborn to the office in a wicker basket, the accepted standard. People pleaser, I thought that I too should bring my newborn to the office.
For some of us, we must take a daily
temperature.
Since an illness rendered me a shadow of my former self, I mask my performing for those who want, expect, and need old me as needed. I strategically summon the shadow, dismissing the possibility of becoming too familiar, and holding on to hope. This is a temporary versus join them to work. I drag this new unfamiliar self through each day, dismissing the possibility of becoming too familiar and holding on to hope. This is temporary versus a time to grieve. Of course, I have good days, those that are better than others, but I'm keenly aware that this ability to hide is itself a privilege, and that others do not have the luxury of masking.
The masquerade,
Visibility. I had to wear a mask in front of college students. I wanted to conceal my identity, being an outsider to the American culture. I performed and worked hard to reveal certain parts of me I thought would fit their expectations. While this masquerade aided me, it also oppressed me.
I question why my work has to be praised by those outside my academic unit and even external to the university for me to be valued as a faculty member.
Is it because of assumed lower expectations
As
as
I'm not a
not
white female.
What risks exist?
The
Haters,
harm, those who do
the
harm,
gatekeepers,
or the
those
future,
who do harm,
general public,
the harmed,
allies,
the
ally
gatekeepers,
others,
or the
accomplices,
future,
differentiated
general
groups
public,
within the practice.
allies, ally others,
Haters,
differentiated groups within the practice, all
all
embedded in
Being
the
an
system.
outsider.
When we restory the narrative, exposing the privileges and working to rebuild imagining new connections for each of the constructs we break,
Rebuild anew. Imagine
I get to take on
I
this
get to take
with
on
challenge.
this challenge.
Engage with risk.
Entering the space as a white woman, I risk disrespecting
I
collaborators.
risk disrespecting collaborators
people
and
of
their
color's
communities when
experiences.
writing about people of color's experiences.
I
Lower
risk
expectations
in the
as a
current
female,
political
as a
climate.
female.
Where is the
Institutions
country
going
and
with DEI?
institutions
What
going?
Where is
risks
the country
exist
and
to
institutions?
an institution going with DEI?
Engage with the
color's
risks.
experience. I risk in the current
I
political
Entering the
risk
climate.
space
not
as a
being able
white
to
woman,
tell
Risk
informant
aliens
stories
in
well
family,
enough.
not friends.
I
though.
risk in the
Risk
Being
not
labeled
being able to
troublemaker,
informants
woke,
stories well.
I
antagonistic.
risk alienating
But do I
family.
even care?
Not friends,
Probably
though.
not.
Risk is
Might even be a good thing. Saying my truths within a specific context helps disrupt my generalizing. We may not necessarily see the world from the same set of lenses. My tenure journey is fraught with starts and stops, a moving target that even hops.
I was once told, "You're doing too much. We don't do all that here."
I was once told, step down.
Step down. We will list your position, something just for you.
Faculty specialist.
Faculty specialist.
Time
Teach
to
all the
teach
time.
all the time.
No research.
No
writing.
research. No writing. My life would not be
But
complete.
my life would not be
My
complete.
family does not believe white faculty can be trusted.
See, I really saw this as an attempt to get rid of me.
Make space for someone who was more.
My presence equals valuing
My
diversity.
presence equals valuing diversity. One person dismantling
a
a
system and people knowingly and unknowingly perpetuating
One
oppression.
person dismantling a system, people knowingly and unknowingly perpetuating oppression. One person of color is often asked to initiate and sustain the work. And one person of color is often left defeated and burned out by.
Yes.
I knew I wore the mask for borrowed
I use the
smiles.
mask to hide
Myself
shame,
in
pain,
disguise.
tears.
The
The
price
price is the added stress of hiding my vulnerability.
Shame, pain, tears, and fears.
Is the added
A
stress
shield.
of hiding my vulnerability.
The price
from
is
those
added
who have
stress
the
of
power
hiding
to
my
shape or
vulnerability from
stall
those
my
who have.
career. The mess and the mission.
Thinking collectively, encouraging action.
My public, teachers of color, and then fellow educators who are also doing advocacy work. Not sure how to address those who aren't thinking or interested in diversity, equity, and inclusion. No matter what I say, they won't be ready to hear it. There goes my bias, there goes my assumptions, and the fatigue, the crushing, unrelenting fatigue.
It's exhausting to
To
frequently find oneself as the primary advocate for DEI.
DEI.
But I have to think about the broader picture. DEI goes beyond my personal feelings or individual fatigue.
This is my advocacy, my commitment to challenge systemic inequalities, to pave the way for those who come after me, and to ensure that every marginalized voice finds a space of belonging in academia.
When we face resistance, we have three options: give up, compromise to get a few changes made, or fight until we change the system. In my case, I implemented all of these options. I gave up working on change within that department. Next, I created an anti-racist, anti-bias teacher education leadership group with representatives from each program unit to focus on faculty who wanted to become allies in changing courses to include content and skills on cultural competence. Finally, I created a new teacher education program that focuses on culturally relevant teaching practices and increasing the number of teachers of color to meet the needs of our urban school district partners.
Teaching and learning is a balance of the curiosity and asset-based construction of the new, and critique, reflection, and reframing of the old to honor and imagine within our curriculum and instruction.
Sharing my direct interactions as part of the story, sharing the reason behind telling this part of the story.
A mask, I'm reminded of the masquerade. I ask myself about the identities I have, the identities performed or not, and the reasons why not. I peeled back the mask
I am reminded of the masquerade.
and whisper
I ask
words
myself
where
about the
false
identities
fades.
I
fight
The
have.
mask. I question. I bleed. I eat my guilt. I weep. I face the mask, transcend the lies. I rise and I fly. Section headers. Entering the ivory tower. The masquerade. Visibility to invisibility. The mess and the mission. End recording.